a lot of times. She can't communicate. If you are, I've met people who can communicate much better than her. Look, I mean, I wouldn't even rate her at Lumumba's level, right? These are good communicators. She can't communicate. If she was that good, why was she removed and Mkwananzi was put in? Who can't communicate to? To me, it screams lack of leadership from Chamisa.
I take the challenge from taxi driver. If you find me anything under Fadai Mahere's tenure that has spelling mistakes or grammatical errors or not succinct, clear communications, and remember, the CCC channel itself was used by both her and Ostalos. So if you find me any communication that Fadai was not eloquent and communicated accurately, find me one. I will donate $1,000 today to a charity of your choice.
All right, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. I don't need to look very far.
One that's signed for Zaimaere, whether it's because she always communicated on letterhead, she always communicated and signed off the same way. Find me one, and I'll today in front of everybody give $1,000 to a charity of your. In fact, that's what we must do.
Yeah. Sure. No, thank you for that challenge. I'm sure I'll bring something back to you.
Taxi driver.
Okay, thank you.
Taxi driver. Okay, taxi driver. I think this is.
Only 4,000.
Maybe for Christmas, and all I just need to do is give you a poster, a campaign, a new yellow campaign, which had a lot of spelling mistakes. So don't worry about it. If she's the leader and you're communicating that way. I mean, no. Just know that you're also speaking to a Cambridge graduate too, right? So
I'm dyslexic as fuck. I used to make errors on her posters all the time. So forgive those. I'm talking about her communication. I was no longer working with her.
Okay, guys.
But I know that she is very succinct.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me just close. Let me just close by this. All right.
No, but hold on, Gaffa, Thanos, can you clarify something? In a political party, the most important roles are president of a political party, right? Not even VP. And then Maspokesavo, let's be fair there, politics. It's a strategic position to be a spokesman of a political party. And if my brother does not understand, Kutanga Topiwa at high top-notch spot, then we have to go back to the books.
Okay, who's the spokesperson?
Wait, not really actually, Salani.
What I'm gonna do, Gaffa, hold on, guys. Okay, hold on, Ningi Kuda. What I'm gonna do is, Kuda, I want you to mute for a minute. Let Gaffa bring his thoughts in. Then you can respond concurrently. Yes, Salani and Gaffa's rebuttal. Gaffa, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Salani. Thank you, Finance. Salani. So being a spokes does not mean we have reached the realms of power. What we have is proximity and access to decision makers. But in terms of decision making, you actually do not actually get a say in decision making unless they are just being kind and allowing your voice. So
no, Gaffa, get what I'm saying. Wait, Kani Gaffa.
Guys,
it's
come
about
on.
the people.
Let Gaffa finish.
Wait, Finals, I just want to explain something.
Guys, let him finish. Otherwise, we won't finish this space. We are meant to finish in the next hour. So let Gaffa finish. You will come in, Salani. I'll give you a chance. Gaffa, go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Gaffa.
Yeah, perhaps I'm just going to leave that point alone. So, Kuda, I understand and appreciate the position that you are in, particularly in you avoiding to defame people. But I'll just go ahead and spell it out for those who might not have picked it up. So the old guard, not in those exact words that you're referring to, would be Tendai, right? So in as much as I appreciate where you're coming from, I still think there is an equally important role that old wisdom plays in any institution. Any new organization, any new institution would benefit a lot by knowing when and how to harness the wisdom that the old guard has. And I think that's particularly one of our issues in Zimbabwe. We do not know how to deal with old wisdom. And I think this is why we find ourselves at a lockerheads with what? With ZANU-PF old guard. I agree with you. There's a need to rejuvenate our politics. The question is how. And I might not know how, but I can certainly and confidently tell you that it's not how Nelson Chamisa did it. That humiliation that he directed towards Tendai Biti was not warranted. And I think now he's beginning to appreciate some of that old wisdom. And I agree with you, Shabangu. He's not doing his own work. He's doing Tendai Bit's bidding. And this is exactly what old guard is good at doing because they have experienced these things. They know how and when to pull strings. And I think giving those guys some strategic positions, not positions of power, do not mistake me, but some positions where we can harness that wisdom or we can tap into that wisdom would actually have benefited Nelson Chamisa and any other institution in this day and era. This whole thing of saying, let us just dismiss them because they are old. Guys, in as much as we're in 2023, the world did not start yesterday. These guys have, for a long time, played the game better and longer than us. And I think if we are going to be a generation that's going to be successful better than them, then we should sit down with them, hear them, create a platform where they can air their views, and then we dissect their views and decide, is this what's best for us? Is this what we want for us? But to just dismiss and humiliate them like Nelson Chamisa did, I think will lead us nowhere. That's what I would say to you, Kuda.
Thank you, Gaffa, for that submission, and I appreciate it. Tonight, Nelson Chamisa did not humiliate Tendai Biti. The problem is you Kwachustani and saw a white man on the ballot who voted Rasti in my camp. Rasti, I thought I would retire. But because the limitation is Zeke, which was another shenanigan that you Kwachustani did not shout against. Yakapinda murungu akaiswa against Tendai Biti. Maboy ese mkamanyira murungu kandoku no yamari. Inferiority complex change ndo chaka humiliated Tendai Biti. But then Chamisa did something even more impressive. He then brought Tendai Biti closer.
What are you telling us about CCC supporters? What are you saying to us?
Then he brought Tendai Biti closer. If you see the pressers after Tendai Biti lost, Tendai Biti was standing next to right here. Imagine when a person significantly use body language, Tendai Biti was standing in the right hand of Nelson Chamisa. You can know the parliament is bold, but it's to our presidency, and who is going to be my VP. These are all things that are on public record. Tendai Biti was not sidelined. Vana James on Timba netuma hit 12 to madara zvagara parliament. Zvakagarawo pasi zvana mudhara huchi zvezvo zvekuharare sedu zvakaita 20 years zvikatadza kuita kana breakfast one nemabusinessmen madhara zviya zvakabviswa because hazvizi effective paground. But Chamisa akaunza padhuze zvikanzi ngatiitei chinhu titongei nyika handiti. So all this humiliated them stuff, I don't believe it because I did not see personally Chamisa humiliating Biti. I saw him, take out.
Please, can I respond?
Just wait. Let him finish.
The truth of the matter is, Tendai Biti lost Harare East because Makwajutani and Makavotram vet. That is the fact. It's not a lie. It's not, the delimitation caused a lot of problems with numbers, and that was not Chamisa's doing. He had no string to pull in delimitation. Harare East was Tendai Biti. Sakatoda by-election nayo, I think the VP. And then afterwards, you guys voted in Mekamp, and that's the problem. So now if Mekamp got the position, Tendai Biti was not even needed to be pacified. And to pacify him, he was given the second most powerful position and was always the articulate policy maker when it came to financial issues. And has always been seconded to be the one who discusses, the finances when Mutuli puts out a statement, etc. So I don't believe he was sidelined. That whole institutional wisdom is needed in a government. Those are timba vasina mazino vachiripo tichikuvaona chibuda ma-election makoti.
Okay, Kuda.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to allow a rebuttal from Salani. Let it be brief, please, then we can move on. Salani, you said you've got a rebuttal. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Right, first with the GAFA. if you go back in time, you'll notice that the moment Fadzai started to show up within the former MDC, the people had questions. Even members of MDC were like, "Oh, why?" Because they didn't feel it was fair. Kuti munhu abva kuita independent akanoduza ongowarikana akuwana mamwe maposition. But anyway, you go to the issue of the when you're publicity. Inonzi chiko kana paunenge uri spokes of a political party. Politics is about fans. It's about popularity. You become the face as much as you have a president, but ndiwe unenge uri the mouthpiece. Being a mouthpiece automatically gets you to have people who are liking you more, they're seeing you more, and the possibility of kuvotera is higher. So it meant already. That's why those are strategic positions. You may not have as you say, the ability to make decisions, but it's not about that. It's about the articulation to the citizens. And that is definitely the opportunity that both Fadzai and Ostalos have had. But anyway, going on to Kuda, when it comes to body language, we all saw the body language. Yeah, Tendai Beat. It had nothing to do with the Vangori. In fact, the fact why would Chamisa put two of his top guns in the same area? Why were they there in the first place? Even if it was about the delimitation and whatnot, why were they competing against each other? It made absolutely no sense. That was a strategic move. You may say Manwakazo Foteroy because Murungu and whatnot, but there's more to it than that. Who made the decision, even though there was the whole delimitation issue, to Kutiva Namava stand together, and it was Chamisa. And that's basically who it was, because we've been told Kuti Pesipa my decisions. Anenga angori either Chamisa anenga cheater at his own nani. So he made that decision to definitely, to have a situation where he had his most prominent people in those positions. So zvakwa zvokuti takazomona chinzi ndiwe VP, ndiwe this, ndiwe that. I don't think it works, my brother. That was a strategic move. The only reason they were together ku nominations court was kuti vara maziso, but at least itese tunovarwa maziso. And you rightfully said something before. Kuti an audio ya Tendai Biti iri kutaura achiti kuti munhu yanga kutopera. So you already are picking up kuti there's problem in the house. So I think tikadaruka tinofamba pamwe chete. Thanks.
Okay. No. Number one, finals. Number one. Rasti Meka Mbakaita prominent rini. Mudara prominent. Tendai Biti should have walloped Rasti Meka in Harare East. Pakait Koma should be Zekpae. And the thing is, Tendai Biti has no choice because the Rasti Meka lives in the north, Tendai Biti lives in the east. And then they were now put together. So there was no choice. He had to let those dogs fight. And that's what a good president does. Just like ZANU-PF, and I don't think there's any conversation that's happened from the Harare East teams that we haven't heard that one. But we didn't hear those particular chatter. So this was a citizen's decision to put the Murungi in front of Tendai Biti. But people are also tired of old paradigms.
No, but Kuda. That's citizens. It was the choice of the citizens. The mayor of Blawayo came number 3. But he still made it to the list. So it meant Kuti even Tendai Biti, even though not making it during the Bereka Mwana, could have been put on the list. But a decision was made between Chamisa and his so-called people around him to say, Kuti, no, Turukumirana Iye Raski, he's the one who's going to stay. So let's not act like it's just not going to make sense when that whole process was taking place. As a leader, he could have literally bypassed the decision, Yema citizens, because that's what he did when he put Mayor Kota there. It's the same thing he did.
Personally, I try and be as objective as possible. I didn't hear any chatter that tonight be I didn't personally hear any gripes from the Harare East team, who I've worked with very closely, and I didn't hear any gripes along those lines. What I did notice, though, was that there was a euphoria for the Murungu in that particular area, and that's what happened. And on top of that, if we're going to really look at this objectively, Andika, meritocracy states that, someone like a Coltard running council can be far more effective. So the leader also made strategic decisions. I mean, look, I'm definitely not going to sanitize unfairness in the citizen struggle, because I believe in absolute democracy. As horrible as it looks, I believe in it. But I believe let's not put false flags up and say that biti akabirirwa. Biti akadyiwa nekuti people had seen him for 20-something years in this way murungu, and then they went and chose that. And I don't believe Chamisa then said, yo, biti, you're out. I genuinely believe Tendai Biti was pulled closer and would have had a very prominent position in government if Chamisa had won the election. So I definitely like conspiracy theories. They excite me, and I like trolling the internet. But that's not one that I can stand by, my sister. I hope you can accept that I can't stand by that particular assertion, because I know delimitation happened. And Vanna Freeman cried and told you niggas that delimitation is confusion and controversy, because they're trying to decapitate the big guns. And they did decapitate in Epwave. They did decapitate in Mbare areas. They were decapitating prominent figures for the purposes of these types of confusions, where Merkamp and the BT are now fighting for the same turf. And that's a ZEC problem. That is not a Chamisa problem.
Okay.
Kuda, you are still denying the selection process.
Okay, all right. Okay, can I move on, please? Hold on.
One question.
No, hold on, guys. Chibububu chagai papana. Kuda, can you just look up at the top? Ningi taxi driver aruda £1,000 yake or $1,000, whatever it is.
Absolutely, no questions, because she stood holding that in Mount Pleasant, confirming that everything was okay. If she's that eloquent, that astute, that competent, she should have seen it. We can't. There's no ifs. There's no buts. We want.
There's ifs and buts, because that came off my computer and I'm dyslexic as fuck. I said go look at her communication as the CCC or MDCT spokesperson.
You have shifted goalposts. I'll find something. Don't worry.
Don't show me anything that I did, because there's going to be spelling mistakes. Even my tweets are terrible. Forget about my work. Every poster you see was me. She would then shout at me, then I'll change it. There's other versions of the same poster that float. But sometimes don't worry about
Okay, give him a chance to go and look for another one. Okay, Ninki Shubza, quickly before we move to the next speaker, please. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. President Chamisa na Biti, they were very close. What's his comment about that rally when people started chanting Biti, and Chamisa said, what's your comment about that?
No, the comment is very clear. Every rally we went to, Pachai Buddha Mota Chibiti Chakafeka hate one way to eat. Not no Naki that Chimdara. She not took it. She Donald Trump, Chimdara. But in the Senate, government, I shot it up.
Could that be honest?
But that change don't share because you got to be don't you like that. But the attack with our Udi, Anokundam Gomana, Amy came. I got to give us some Sana, Mamma. Papa, Mirega, Sepi, give us some Gigi, Sema free.